Hey everybody, we are live. We're live and ready to go. So, hope everyone is having a good Saturday. It is Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers. We will start things off by getting warmed up a little bit inside a puzzle rush. So, if anyone wants to play me, all they have to do is do !join in the queue, and we'll have a game. We are continuing from our last puzzle rush where we ended up at 39. So this is puzzle number 40. It's pretty challenging. I think we have a few options here. We have to first look at our checks. We have queen takes e4 check. That's an option. We also have this check. We also have this check and this check. No other checks here make any sense. So let's start off with thinking about queen takes. We have a challenge from Chess Cut in Chess 960. You know what? I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the challenge here. We have a Chess 960 game. All right. What the hell do we have? I guess let's fianchetto the bishop. Let's open up this diagonal right away. And now let's see what this is. Chess 960, where all of the pieces in the back are randomized. What do we have going on here? Now I could castle at some point. I don't know how castling works in this position. I do want to bring my knight out. This looks pretty good, but maybe first develop. Bring out my pawn. It would be pretty cool if I move my pawn here, put the queen here, and then give a checkmate. That would be pretty funny. This game might abort if Chess Cut doesn't move in the next few seconds. What is going on here? Are we having a move or not? No, the game is going to abort. This game is about to abort. Yeah, that sucks. This would have been a good position for me. Already on that pawn. Okay, maybe he didn't see that I accepted the challenge. Let's go back to Puzzle Rush. And we're continuing where we left off. All right, so we are thinking about queen takes pawn over here. After this, the king can move, like over here. I don't know. I'm not too convinced about it. There's also this, but like the queen can just block, or even the bishop can just block. How's their tactic here? What the hell? I could also take. What to do? This one's tricky. I don't see the answer. I could also. I was thinking about pushing the pawn, but this here is checkmate. It's backed up by the bishop, so we have to move pretty fast. That's a checkmate here. So it pretty much tells me that I have to start things off with a check. This move seems correct. So let's do it. There we go. It was correct. Now what is the follow-up? Well, I am up material if you think about it. I have an extra rook. So queen trade here makes sense. And then I just enjoy being up the extra rook. It might be as simple as that. Yep. There we go. We got this. 40 down. Not everything has to result in a checkmate. Thanks very much, Daniel. I appreciate it. What is going on here? There is a checkmate threat, sort of. It's covered right now by queen and rook, but it looks scary because there's a pawn and bishop behind. Maybe it's not a checkmate threat, but it looks scary. What do I have here? The king is a little bit exposed. King is a bit exposed. Can I do something about it? Could I sacrifice my bishop? After king takes, queen e8 check? But the king can just go back, no? The king can just go back. It looks appealing. Thank you, Daniel. I am Jewish, so it doesn't really apply to me. Queen e8, and then bishop here. But then it still runs into like queen g8 stuff, forcing off some trades. What about, I don't know, bishop a4, king takes, pawn? The king is not obligated to take back. He could always go that way. Tough game. What to do? I think the sacrifice has to work. Let's start by it. Yeah. Okay. There we go. That had to be the first good move. So now I'm thinking either pawn to b5 or queen to e8. I think queen to e8 is the more powerful move. If this king goes here, then what? Then I guess pawn takes, double check. The king has to move. That actually might be something with pawn pushing. The queen here, it doesn't do too much after the pawn pushes. And then I'm losing all of my firepower. I think pawn to b5 is the way to go. There we go. And I think now we take, and it's a double check between the pawn and the queen. Hey, Shadow. And if the king ever comes here, we have a fork and we pick up the queen. So let's take. And yeah, I think at this point we go here and pick up the queen. Don't see any other good options. So let's do that here. Give me the queen. Excellent. 41 puzzles we got. All right, we're at puzzle number 42. Our bishop is hit twice. If we simply move it out of the way carelessly, our rook behind falls, which is not ideal. But at the same time, we have a passed pawn that's only 2 squares away from getting a queen. Something to think about. What if we do take? What if we take it and allow the rook to take our rook? And then we push up. And the rook could go back. But if that happens, we can play bishop g1 blocking the rook. And if this, then we can bring our bishop back here. And then there's no way that white is going to stop us from becoming a queen. This passed pawn is the key to this puzzle. We take the bishop. And now we push. And now we block. And then we would have got a queen next. That was a nice puzzle. All right. 42 down. Let's keep going. We're at 43. What to do? All right, so we have a passed pawn here that's 3 squares away from becoming a queen. My opponent also has a passed pawn that's also 3 squares away from becoming a queen. If I take the queen, rook takes, and let's say I push, the pawn could push. If I push, the rook moves. I'm not totally convinced. I don't have any good checks. I think it has to start with taking the queen just because I don't see anything else other than maybe pushing first. But I don't know. Nothing here seems too concrete for me the way the other puzzles did. It's kind of like, the heck is going on? What to do? We have either taking the queen or pushing. I don't see any other logical moves here. Rook d1 a possibility? Rook d1 here? No. You may have to mean after. But this just hangs. There's 2 rooks behind it. What are you talking about? Shadow Monarch. Check with the rook, take the queen. Oh, yeah. Yup. Check. And we take the queen. Yeah, but hold on. The rook isn't obligated to take. If here, the king can move here. But then we take the queen and the rook is pinned. So if the rook takes back, then we take the rook behind. That is 100% the move. Good find. Here, we take, and we take. Nice job, guys. All right, 44. Let's see if we can do this. We have 2 passed pawns. My opponent has 2 passed pawns as well. I want to start by pushing, but I'm not too convinced. Maybe I start by pushing this pawn, because this pawn is a lot closer to get a queen than this pawn. This pawn, the rook is in the way. So I have to take time to move the rook out of the way. Here, I don't have to move. I can just push, and get the queen. But hold on, we have to consider this pawn. I could always take a moment and go here. Let's go. Let's go here. We're about to go here again. I think so. Let's do it. And now we block. We pick that up. And we get a queen. Easy peasy. There we go. 44 down. All right, puzzle 45. The king here is super exposed. If I sacrifice it by going like here or here, probably here, the king would take. And then what if I give a check? King goes here, check. King goes down. Isn't that just mate? Do I have that one, guys? Is that all that it is? Check over here. The king must take the knight. Pawn push. The bishop could take. The bishop could take. Pawn takes, but it doesn't matter though. King goes here and mate. But hold on, the king can't the king go here and block the rook? Let's think about it one more time. Rook c6. Hey, Alfred, watching from Calgary. Hey, nice to meet you. Welcome. I'm thinking rook c6. Forcing move. The king has to take the knight. I just want to get the king restricted as much as possible. Maybe instead of pushing, because it allows bishop takes, we push the other way. Let's see. Here, we push. Then the king must come here or here. If the king comes here, we take our other pawn. Make it come down. And now we have this mate. There we go. I think that's the answer. So we start with this. And now we push the other pawn. Instead of this, which allows the bishop to take and hurt our chances, we have this. There's no time for the bishop to take anything. The king must go here, then it's checkmate. Or if the king goes here, we first push this pawn, the king comes down, and then we have that same checkmate. So a3, we push, and mate. There we go. 45 down. No mistakes yet. All right. 46. Here we go. What in the world is this puzzle? Tricky. Our queen is hit. If we move too far away without really doing much, the rook behind it is going to get snapped off. What if I take? Rook takes queen. I'm not really convinced. If it was like a blitz game, I would take here in a heartbeat. But this isn't a blitz game. We have to take our time here and make sure we know what we're doing. Tricky. My rating is about 1900, Rise of Gaming Emperor. No, it's not night for me, it's morning. It's about 8:30 in the morning. Guys, what do I do here? This one's tricky. You're at home? That's okay. I want to take, but then it runs into rook takes. Rook take, and it's just a trade, but given that I'm up a bishop, I might be happy with it. Let's let that soak in while we play Live in Shadow. Live in Shadow, aka Chess Cut. Let's let that soak in. Yeah, that is a difficult one. I don't see the answer, but we'll go back to it if we can. If no one else plays. Alright, Chess Cut. Challenge sent. Good luck. Here we go. Time to win our first viewer game. Did you get the challenge? Sent it to you. If anybody else wants to play, just throw in an exclamation mark join and sub to my channel. If you all 9 of you here, or however many you are, could you please click like on my stream? There's should be a thumbs up button. That'll help the algorithm promote the stream to other people who may want to play. Alright, I sent you the challenge, Live in Shadow. Did you get it? If you didn't get it, I can send you another one, but just let me know. I'll give you maybe 20 seconds, otherwise we'll go back to the puzzle. Oh, we do have a challenge. Okay, here we go. Here we go. What will white play? White will play this. We respond with c6 always. Caro-Kann. It's the first opening I ever learned for black. I've always stuck with it. I've been playing the Caro-Kann for more than a decade. Throw in the knight. Pin it. Pin to win. Pin it to the queen. Alright, let's play e6. Supporting that pawn over there. Alright, they're pinning us. Let's go with queen b6. That looks pretty solid. Shadow thinks I do take that pawn, but still not sure. Yeah, we'll have to revisit it. It's a tough one. I think we do take the pawn because at the end of the day, we're up the bishop, but it seems a bit murky for a puzzle. Like, there's nothing greater than that. It's just taking a pawn. Let's support the knight. Back it up. We maintain pressure on the pin. I think we can get away with taking. Pawn takes. This pawn is becoming a backwards pawn and a target. Let's go here. I think now we're just up a pawn. I think taking here was a mistake because now I think we could take. The knight cannot take because the queen will drop. So we take. That's why I like the Caro-Kann. Beautiful center control. Alright. They want me to move my queen away. I could move my queen to c5. Keep the pressure on. I could also just take that. So I have 2 decent options. I think to keep things simple, I will take. I'm already up a pawn. It comes with the check, so I don't have to worry about my queen. Let's go here. Maintain pressure on the pawn. If they're not careful, I'll snag off that defender of the pawn, and then this pawn will become undefended, allowing me to take it. That's the plan. I guess I could just do it right now. Yeah, let's chop it off. No more defender of that pawn. We take it. And now, all of a sudden, we're up 2 pawns. Let's go here and threaten a mate in 1. And it develops our bishop and allows us to castle. All on the expense of white's tempo. They had to take an extra tempo defending the mate, and so it helped us out. I didn't just do it to be cheesy and threaten to mate. I did it to develop my bishop and get closer to castling at white's expense so they can't make a move like this right away. They had to delay that. But I think here we'd be greedy a little bit and take another pawn. But then they start getting a little bit active here. So I don't want to do that. I have to start playing faster, guys. Let's go over here. Can't go here because of the queen, so we just put it to another square. I didn't want any bishop discoveries. I want to put a rook on c8 and double up on this file and get some pieces active into the game. Oh, I blundered there? Maybe. But that's okay if my opponent didn't see it. I'm cool with it. Let's go here. This is the beauty of bullet games. You can afford to make blunders. Blundered a pawn, but I don't care. I'm in it for the activity. I don't care about these pawns. They can scoop them up. I'm more interested in, like, other pawns. What to do? Let's go over here. Offer to trade. And also blocks in. Okay, they take. I'm going to put a rook back. Maintain control. I missed bishop f4. That's fine. That's a free queen. That is a free queen. I'll look at it after the game. And we have resignation. Where did I miss bishop f4? Bishop to f4. Ooh, here maybe? Wait, here. Bishop f4. Yeah, I would have blundered the bishop. Takes, and I would lose the bishop. And we would have a game. I have some counterplay here. But yeah, you're totally right there, Shadow. I would have blundered the bishop. Good call. But hey, my opponent didn't see it, so I got away with it. Alright, since I think our queue is empty right now, nobody wants to play me, we will go back to the puzzle. We will go back to the puzzle here. I think taking the pawn is the way to go. I think, Shadow, you're right. Taking the pawn is the way to go. Because really, I'm up a bishop at the end of the day. I have a queen, 2 rooks, and a bishop. My opponent just has 2 rooks and a queen. So if we do these trades, I'm going to come out at the end of the day up a full bishop. But do I take here or do I take there? Definitely this way. Because if here rook takes and then rook takes and then rook takes, I don't want that to happen. I think this is the way to go. Yep, we take. I see the point of the puzzle. Instead of just taking back the queen, that would be silly, and just trade, we take the rook first. It's an in-between move. It's an intermezzo. And now we take. Now we're up the full bishop. There we go. Okay. Puzzle number 47. How did you play except the last move? You played pretty well, except you blundered a few pawns out of the opening. In the Caro-Kann, you have to be very careful with your pawns, because, like, I'll just pull it up. Games, game history, this one. I did end up blundering, though, but you didn't exploit it. No, I don't know if you saw it, but I can go over it again. So far, everything is good. Now, this move allows that. And this just allows me to take a pawn. So, I don't know. This is starting to look pretty bad. But it was at this point, instead of rook e1, bishop f4. Skewering my queen. When I move my queen away, you take the bishop behind it. If you had found that, the game would have been a lot trickier. But because you didn't find it, I'm up a pawn, and one of them is a center pawn. It's just not very good. And then I just... It's close, but once you blunder your queen, you're toast. Alright. What do we have going on here? This one's tricky. The queen is threatening to take the pawn. King will move away. And then, I don't know, at a minimum, they could maybe throw in another check. I have to be aggressive here. Have to be aggressive. I don't see any good checks. This one just hangs. This one hangs. This one hangs. No checks. Any threats in the position? I do have a fork, potentially, with queen g6 pointing at the knight and pointing at the rook. And we're also covering the pawn. To me, that seems pretty decent. Queen g6 looks solid. Queen g6 just might be the way to go. Queen g6, if rook b3 to counterpunch, then maybe I could play rook to e1 check. This is the way to go. All right, let's take and take. That was pretty simple. I wasn't expecting them to do that. There we go. All right, 47 down. Let's see if we can get a high score here. I think our high score is like 56 or something like that. We're within arm's reach of it. We just have to play very carefully. So these puzzles get tricky. One small misstep, you're done. You're toast. It does help us that we didn't get any wrong. So we have three chances to go wrong. But obviously, you want to try to keep your three as long as possible. All right, what to do here? Checks, captures, threats in that order. This one is dumb because the king just takes and I don't really have a checkmate. I don't think I do, at least. Bishop here, your rook, knight can block, whatever. You see rook g8 first. Is the queen almost trapped? Rook g8, the queen goes here though. Ah, but then that loses the rook. Here, this. Yeah, I mean, that's solid. That is solid. Rook g8. Moving the queen away from this diagonal. That is a good move. Is it the best? I think so. I think we have a winner here with rook g8. Let's do it. Our queen is hit. That I didn't consider. Pawn to b4. Taking a swing at my queen. But could I not just move the queen to b6? Keep some pressure? No, because then the queen will be able to go to e5. What if I simply move the queen to, like, I don't know, over here? But then there's no contact anymore on that rook. What if I throw in a check? It's a check. And they have to address it, and then I pick up the queen. Boom. Oh my god, they're throwing another punch. They're throwing another punch. What the heck? This is never ending. What if I take the pawn now? And now I'm on the rook. I'm on the queen. That has to be the way to go. There's no more pawn punches. No more pawns to attack my queen. I think that has to be it. Let's do it. Let's take the pawn. Oh my god, they're wiggling out of the way. This is not how I should do puzzles. I should have calculated everything. This is like stumbling into this position. But you know what? I'm taking it one move at a time. I'm playing the best move at a time. And, like, how could you really foresee all of this stuff? Queen h6. Okay, queen h6. Now what to do? We can't scoop up this rook anymore because the queen defends it. Do we have anything else? Maybe rook h8? Question mark? Queen takes, rook takes, rook takes, check, rook blocks. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. What the heck? This is a tough puzzle. It's never ending. I feel like I have to play rook h8. I don't see any other move in this position. Rook h8 has to be the way to go. Rook h8, the queen will take on h8. Do I really want to give up both of my rooks for a queen? Hell yeah, I do. Oh my god, they don't take. But this is a mistake. I could take back. And now this rook is loose. And now I think the hard part of this puzzle is behind us. Now we just scoop up the queen and take the rook. That was a tough one. But we got it. Tough puzzle. I'm looking at a sacrifice here. Sacking the rook. King takes. And then I wanted to play queen to g6, but it simply doesn't work. I was looking at the pin, but the king, since it's here, it could just scoop up the queen. But I do like the idea of sacking the rook and starting for an attack. What if I have here, king takes, and then like bishop sacking? Sacking again. King takes. Do I have anything? It looks a bit risky, but I have then queen takes knight. Queen takes knight, and then if the king goes up, maybe queen to h4 would be the mate. I think we're on to something with the double sack here. Just completely ripping open the position. Okay, rook here. We have to think about what happens if the king just goes to the corner and doesn't accept it. Well, then I guess bishop takes anyway. Someone's saying queen g5, Mario. Shadow is saying queen g6. Okay, if queen g5, okay, can't be here, takes, queen g5 blunders, the pawn could just take it. You mean after everything? After this, king takes. I want to take again with the bishop. But then the king can just hide away in the corner. But then no, this has to be the win. We take? No! We're wrong, but let's pull it up. Let's see what's going on. Queen g6 here. Ah, right away, queen g6. Yes. Queen g6. Like that's so much easier than the complicated stuff I was thinking of with the sacrifice. Queen here. No, queen here is not the answer. So it's not rook takes. It's not rook takes. It's not queen here. Hey, did you? Welcome to my channel. Glad to see you here. If you want to drop your chess.com username in the chat, we'll go ahead and get a game. Just let me know what it is. And Live in Shadow, we just played, so it's actually Diju who's up next. But what's the answer to this? I'm very confused. Do I just take the knight? Yeah, I just take the knight. That's an easy puzzle. Yeah, easy puzzle we missed. All right, we still have 2 more tries. The answer was literally as simple as just taking the knight. We all of us missed the pin. But that's all right. Okay. Waiting for your username, Diju. And then we'll play. But in the meantime, we have a game. Your chess.com username, it can't be your full name. Like, I'm asking for your chess.com username. I don't think any spaces are allowed. All right, what is going on here? The king is a little bit exposed in comparison to ours. You saw to take the knight, but you're like, that's too easy. Me too. I saw the rook sack and all of this stuff. I thought I was checkmating. That's why you have to calculate everything through. It's not good. It's not good, especially when you get to these high-rated puzzles, to go on your gut, because it can get you pretty far. But once you're on a high, like, elevated rating or puzzle level, you have to start thinking these things all the way through. All right, let's go ahead and get a game while we let this one baste and roast in the back of our minds. Oh, we have a challenge already. Okay, let's take it. That makes things easier for me. Good luck, Diju. We have a Queen's Gambit. Declined. All right. Are we going to have a Carlsbad here? Okay, we have this move. I think I go with pawn takes c4. think that's the way to go with these early bishop g5 ideas. Pawn is attacked. I think c5. Let's play c5. We're getting into some heavy theory. All right, let's take. The queen might take. But if pawn takes, the pawn is now isolated, which is a long-term target for me. If we trade things down, I could take an aim at that pawn. All right, let's play knight over here. What is the best opening for 900 ELO? The best opening for 900 ELO for white, it's going to be the London system. For black, Caro-Kann, c6, d5, no matter what. That's my recommendation if you're 900 ELO. All right, the pawn pushes. He doesn't like that weakness, so we take. But my bishops are kind of opened up now. This is a pawn over here. Should I take the pawn? Hell yeah, let's take the free pawn. Thank you very much for the free pawn. I'm up a pawn. Kind of happy about that. Our bishops are wide open. Oh, cool. Yeah, the London system will fit nicely since you already know the Caro-Kann because there are similar pawn structures that come up from it. You have the triangle. Sometimes that show up in Caro-Kann with your C and D pawns. So it's kind of like reflected. The London system is pretty easy to learn. You just have to know where the pieces go. The move order really doesn't matter so much, just where they go. Our bishops are monsters in this game. A lot of people hate playing against the London system because they feel like it's boring. But hey, it works. It's a super solid opening and it gets the job done. Let's go here. I want to develop my other bishop next. Maybe go over there to f5 and throw a punch at the rook. But at the same time, that will blunder our pawn over there. So it's all about timing. You don't want to do that quite yet. The knight here is really powerful. Maybe we push the pawn up one square. Now this pawn is defended, and now we're free to move our bishop next. We can also think about moving our bishop to d7, pointing at the king. It's another opportunity for me, another option. Not gonna lie, I am one of those, but not because it's boring, but it's a problem to deal with. Yeah, against the London system, I have a set thing like of what to do against it. You want to attack the dark squared bishop right away. With like e6 and then bishop d6 right away to challenge the bishop on f4. All right, now let's go ahead and play this. We have a better move. We can actually do it next. We're hitting the rook, but after the rook moves, like we could just move here and pick it up. Yeah, we don't exchange the bishop. Instead, we play this. And now we have the benefit of the bishop coming off our back a little bit. And we go here. And we're going to win the rook. We'll be up a pawn, up a rook. Pretty solid for us. That's a queen. I was not thinking they were going to move the rook away from the protection of the queen. That rook was pinned. That was just a pin. Let's go over here. Develop the rook. Shadow, you're next. All right, let's go here. Keep things solid. That's a free bishop. What are they doing? Let's push up. Now our queen is on the rook. Are they going to see it? Probably not. Okay, they do see it. Let's develop the knight. Free rook. Check. We protect. And now check. What to do? I have only 14 seconds. Not ideal. But we win on time. There we go. Awesome, Shadow. Good game, Liam. All right, time for Shadow. You got 5 great moves with your king once. Yeah, that typically happens in end games where you're very precise with your king. Was that in the end game Mario codes? All right, Shadow, good luck. Challenge sent. Here we go. Start things off with e4, best by test. We have a Caro-Kann. We're going to do a 2 knights attack against it. Let's go pawn to h3. They back up a bit, but let's take and throw in this check. And where are they going? Oh, nice. You stalemated him? That's always good. All right, where's my opponent going now? What are they doing? They're in a deep thing for a 3-minute game. Okay, the knight comes into play. Let's go over here, hit the bishop, and then sink our knight into e5. And now we're on that piece. I guess let's push up and play bishop f5 next. Bishop f5. Can we sacrifice? Here, pawn takes. I'm not thrilled about it. Let's take first. And now bishop here. And now we're threatening maybe knight takes f7. Looks solid for us. Okay. They don't want to do that. Let's go with what to do. This looks fun. Let's play queen f3. Maybe push the pawn at some point. Pushing the pawn kind of seems logical. I want a castle. Protects the pawn over here. They could have took it with the bishop. Tricky. Let's center that other rook. All right, the knight is hit. Let's go with let's what do I want to do? All right, let's go here. Offer a queen trade at this point. Okay, no queen trades. So let's go here. Maybe push this way. Maybe push. All right, I think we take. let's go with pushing the pawn. I think that makes sense here. The queen is almost trapped. Can I exploit that? Okay, so there's a little bit of pressure going on the knight. Could I play knight here? Bishop takes, queen takes. Hey, Gino. I have 33 seconds. We have to make a move. Let's go here. I think the bishop will take. My knight is okay. Thanks. Whoa, really? I'm going to take. This may be silly, but we're going to take this. I just move. And now I think we're up the exchange. This move looks solid. Oh, we blundered mate. We blundered mate, but I think I must have had something better. It was just time pressure that got to me. 33 seconds left against someone that's so good. Yeah, I was up +2 at this point. I was doing so well. This bishop here was a step in the wrong direction. If I had moved here to go for this and that idea, that would have been a lot stronger. Hard to make these good moves. Yeah, good game, Shadow. Good game. Mario, are you up next? I'm pretty sure you are. Mario codes. Shadow we just played. You knew it was going to be very hard to keep the advantage. Yeah, especially with my time ticking. Not easy. You played well. Yeah. If I had a longer time control, I'd be able to convert. But, I mean, my time is just bleeding. And my girlfriend also walked in the room at some point. Okay. Let's go to members. Here we go, Brian. Hello, world. Nice bio there. Oh, it says your challenge does not match the member's current match settings. That might mean, Mario, that you have to challenge me. So if you just go to, you probably have like a setting. Okay, there we go. We got it. Good luck. Let's start things off with e4. Bring in the knight. The other knight. We have a Scotch 4 knights. And we're going to close off the queue because I'm going to start to wrap things up. So I think this will be our last game. Okay, I think we take the queen. Okay, so they choose not to castle for the remainder of the game. I think we can take because now we're on this. And now we have a fork. We pick up the rook. Thank you for the rook. I appreciate it. Let's play here. Push our pawns and threaten pawn to e5. Fork. My knight is trapped in the corner, but whatever. I'm fine being up the exchange. Let's go with, should I castle? Yeah, let's castle. Get some kingside safety. Okay, let's go here, hit the bishop. You're probably hoping I wouldn't be castled and then this would be a pin. But this is a counter punch, and now we pick up that bishop. All right, let's move our knight out of the way. It's actually, they could have took it. They could have just took it point blank with that bishop. Hey, Zachary, if you want to sub to my channel, I'll play you. I'd be happy to. And then that'll be the finale encore of the stream. All right, let's go with moving the pawn over here. Back it up. Pretty much any move here now wins. Let's go here, hit the bishop. Let's double up. And now we're just going to start dominating the position. Okay, we attack the bishop and also give us an escape square if they push again. Let's push up here. Let's move. Threaten that. Back it up. Maybe knight d4 next. Oh, nice. Then yeah, we'll play next. We'll go here. Get the knight centralized. This move looks pretty good for us. I'm threatening right now to take the pawn and sacrifice the rook because if the king takes, we would have had a fork. But they move. But this still works out. Because here, we go here, we pick up. Our knight could be attacked at the end of that line, but you know what? I don't really care. I'm okay to drop that knight. I'm up a rook. Oh, wait, that knight doesn't get dropped. It's protected by the pawn. What am I saying? We got this. Let's see. I guess we'll go here. And take. I don't mind just slowly taking all of the pieces. We'll go here. This is just an overwhelming position. All right, now let's start pushing the pawns. Push, 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 get a queen, check, and then mate. But they are trying to make life difficult for us. Let's go here and give a check this way. That's a fork. We pick up the bishop. And now we're free to get a queen. I probably had a cleaner way to do this, but hey, it works. There, and then mate. All right, time to play Z-Man Wizard for our finale. Good game, Mario. Yeah, you did blunder bad. That was a tough game. All right, challenge sent. If any of you want private lessons, I do offer that as a paid service. If anyone's interested, you can check out my site, coursquares.com, and reach out to me from there. All right, challenge sent, Zachary. Did you get it? Hey, Alfred, I appreciate the kind words. Thank you very much. Zachary, did you get the challenge? Can you confirm? Let me know if you got it. Mario, I'm limiting it to just one game per person for the stream. But you're more than welcome to play me again another day. All right, I sent it again. Here we go. Let's go with e4. And here. We have a Scandinavian I don't like the Scandinavian. I don't recommend it to anybody, especially people that are starting out. That is a free pawn that will happily scoop up. We're threatening a fork. All right, the queen is hitting the pawn over here, but I kind of want to just kick it away and see where they go. I know it does open up this diagonal for my king. Normally, I don't recommend moving the f-pawn, but I mean, sometimes you have to know when it's okay to break the rules. Let's go here and threaten bishop b5, and that'll win us the queen. It'll be stuck like a glue. Okay, this move is bad on so many levels. One, I could take the bishop. And two, this move is a little bit better because we win the queen. The Scandinavian is objectively bad. You could memorize the lines and stuff and you're not going to lose right away, but objectively speaking, it's very bad. Let's take with the queen. The queen cannot trade ours because of this. Hey Ronald, you've joined me at the tail end of my stream, so I don't know if I'll have the chance to play you. But if you want to sub to my channel, maybe we'll get a quick game. All right, I could either take the rook or fork. I think taking the rook is slightly better. Let's do it. So now we're on the knight. Yep, they defend it. Good job. Let's go here. We're just going to mop up this game. Let's go this way, and now there's a little bit of pressure going on that knight. Very good move. Let's take, and we'll take the pawn down here. Appreciate it, Ronald. What's your chess.com username? I'll play you next. All right, let's mop up all of these pawns. This is an overwhelming position for my opponent. Let's take the pawn with check. They're just going to run out of pieces. Let's push. And maybe throw in this bishop check. Yeah, let's throw in this bishop check. I'm not worried about this bishop right now. I am in for the kill. Check. And I don't even want to take the knight. Instead, checkmate is better. Good game. Ronald, what is your username? Let me know what it is, and we'll get a game. What is it? I'm ready to challenge you right now. Guys, if you can all click on like, throw some hearts my way, I would appreciate it. Ronald, are you still here with us? I need to know your chess.com username in order to play you. Otherwise, how are we going to play? Guys, it doesn't look like Ronald knows what his chess.com username is. So it doesn't look like we'll have a game. So I think that wraps things up. I'll give Ronald maybe 10 more seconds. Put in his chess.com username in the chat. Otherwise, we'll have to play next time. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We do have a challenge from N. Oh, okay. You sent me the challenge. Here we go. It's our encore finale. Whoever's here, thanks for sticking with me. Nice, Mario. All right, let's hit the bishop this way. Usually we would see the bishop go back and we would start an attack. Oh, they're really letting me have the bishop pair. Okay. I will happily take that. Go here, we castle next. This is good for us. Rook e1. Throw in this check. Queen e2. Piling up on that e file. They cannot castle at this point because I take the bishop. The live stream is kind of delayed by 15 seconds. Yeah, it probably is. Not a whole lot I could do about that, though. Cool. Hope you enjoy the London system. It's a lot of fun. It was the first opening I ever learned. All right. Let's go here. Start attacking this pawn. Not easy for them to defend it. Maybe rook f8. But this just can't look any good. I don't know if that's a move my opponent really wants to make. Oof, they do it. Now they're really never going to castle. Could I sacrifice? King takes check? Nah. Free pawn? Yeah, but I would lose both of my pieces for it. I don't want to do that. I like my pieces. Yeah, he defended it. Let's see. Well, let's take some control over the center. Nice. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, let's move the knight. Let's bring in our bishop. Get it active. Let's back up. Maybe c3 next. Oh, they do castle, but queenside. This looks a little bit dangerous, especially considering my bishop that has a lot of control. Let's give an escape square for that bishop so it can maintain control over that diagonal. So if they're ever attacked, I could just come here. I think we take. And now we have a beautiful bishop pair. Both bishops are fairly active. Let's go here into our little cubbyhole that we created. All right. I don't want any discoveries. Not on my watch. Let's go over here. Away from any sort of knight movement that hits the queen. Maybe double up. Rook e2, rook e1. Hey, Anne. This is our last game of the stream, but you're more than welcome to sub to my channel, and we'll play next time. Let's go with this move. Start doubling it up. Rook e1 next. Okay, hitting the queen. Decent. Let's just back it up. Just like that. That blunders a pawn. They don't really see it. Let's go here. Sorry, AN, this is the last game of the stream. I'm wrapping things up. It already should have ended before this game. I gave an extra game to be nice. But I can't keep playing forever. Let's take the pawn. If I had more time, I would play you, but I have plans for today. It's Mother's Day. Gotta get ready for a brunch and all of that fun stuff. Let's go rook e1. Offer to trade. I am up a pawn. So let's just trade down. Do you want to take the queen too? The bishop here is a little bit weak, but I can always move it around. Maybe here, push the pawn. I don't know if they're going to want to go for a queen trade. I don't think it would make sense. I have to play a little bit faster. I only have 36 seconds. Let's go here. I'm really doubling down on this queen trade idea. Okay, let's take, and I think we can push to open things up. G3 pawn break. Let's go here and here. And let's go here. Threatening to take. And now we take the pawn behind it. We're going to be up a pawn. We're actually up 2 pawns now. We have a majority on both sides. Let's check. Let's move up. The knight is trapped. Well, for a trade, but this is a winning king and pawn endgame. It's just devastating for my opponent. I'm going to push, 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 push. The king will be distracted, and we get the dub. All right, guys. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Have a good rest of your day. I'll see you all next time. Take care.